What's up, my friends? I am wearing the new Tom Bihn BIXI. This bag is pretty new, it's a couple months old, a new release by Tom Bihn. It is a 32-liter everyday carry or travel backpack. And I thought, what better way to walk through this backpack with you than to pack it full to the gills as if I was leaving on a one-bag travel trip and unpack it with you. So, let's have some fun. So I cannot wait to explore this bag with you. There are two things that I think you need to know about this bag before you buy it. First, I want to start by just outlining features, taking a simple walk through, like a walk through the park, but a walk through this bag. And I want to look at all the features with you. So first off, the exterior of the bag. Most of the bag is a ballistic nylon. I think it's a 640D ballistic nylon. So it's not a super tight weave, but it's tight enough. So what that does is it creates some nice flex to the bag, especially for storing. This thing can really pack down. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And it adds some significant strength to the bag as well. We have some incredibly heavy-duty branded Tom Bihn YKK zippers. Two of the compartments have locking features on the zippers, so the two zippers come together like so you can lock them up. That's both in the admin pocket and the main packing pocket. It does not have the locking feature on the laptop pocket, which I thought was a very interesting choice. Why you would want to lock up everything except for your electronics, your most expensive things that you're carrying. On this side, we have a water bottle. It's a nice stretchy water bottle. I was really skeptical that this when I first felt it, I was really skeptical that this water bottle would actually hold my Awala, but it holds it great and it holds it very, very tight. It's a little bit challenging to get in, but I would rather it be challenging to get in than having it falling out all over the place. But it's super sturdy, man. This pack's full and I can almost pick up the pack by the water bottle. It just does not want to let go of it. This elastic is a mesh, really, really structured elastic, but not a ton of give. That makes sense because it's incredibly structured. I don't think you're gonna have a problem with this pocket stretching out significantly over the years. That's one thing in general about this bag, is that I think this bag is built to last for a lot of years. On this side, we've got a handle, carry handle. It's a very comfortable carry handle. There's got some padding in there, and it forms and shapes to the shape of your hand, but doesn't fold over too much and get that uncomfortable fit when you're carrying it like a brief. Again, that ballistic nylon on all sides. There are no handles or really no features at all on the bottom of this bag. There is some padding on the bottom of the bag. However, this is a huge miss, I think, on this bag, is that there's padding for the main compartment where I put my clothes and my shoes on the bottom of the bag. There's zero padding for my laptop. So when I've got this thing sitting up like this and I slide my laptop in, if I don't lower it all the way in, it's gonna slam onto the bottom. Also, when I'm going through the airport, train station, on the train, on the airplane, whatever, and I put my bag down, my laptop makes contact with the hard surfaces. So I also think that was a miss on this bag. I'm outlining some misses, but man, I think there were so many hits. I just love the way it looks. It's very simplistic. I think every seam, every zipper has a purpose. I love the branding. I think the branding is fantastic. It's like this old school airplane with some old aviation font. Just did a really, really good job. Tom was a guy that started making bags by hand in Seattle. By the way, these bags are still hand sewn in the US of A up in Seattle. That causes a certain price point, but it also causes a very specific quality. Let's talk about the back side of the bag. Backside of the bag is one of my favorite things about this bag. Look at the springiness and the edgeless design of these straps. So they call it an edgeless design, meaning there's no seams on the edge and those aren't digging into your shoulders as you're walking around with this thing fully loaded. This pack alone wins me over based on the shoulder straps. Of course, you've got the sternum strap. The sternum strap is attached by some sturdy webbing and it has plenty of room for you to adjust both width and height. I've seen these sternum straps made out of elastic, and that is a terrible, terrible idea. You want it rigid like they have it here so that you can really set those straps exactly where you want them to distribute the weight. This thing can carry a lot of stuff. I would say right now I still only have it about 90% full. But that said, if you're gonna pack this thing down, you wanna make sure that that weight gets distributed in a way that is not gonna kill your shoulders or your back. Sweat-proof nylon mesh on the back side of this bag with a tighter weave nylon on the bottom of the back of it. There's also some really nice foam padding. You have a two-way pass-through on this bag. This is a really cool idea. You have a pass-through access here for luggage handle, but you also have pass-through access here up through the top. So if you prefer your pass-through to be like a duffel or a brief, no problem, you can do that. Or if you want your pass-through to be like a backpack, you can do that as well. I think that's brilliant. I don't see that very often. I don't know if I've ever seen that, honestly, but it's just like, it's the little touches, you know? You know they labored over it, pouring every bit of wisdom and knowledge and experience into every square inch of this bag. It's super thoughtful. You also have a waistband right here. This waistband, I love this feature because on an everyday carry, I don't want a waistband, but on a one bag travel, I absolutely want a waistband. So there's clips here that you can undo and then take the waistband off. That's absolutely brilliant. There are no pads on the waistband. That might be a bit of a miss, especially because if you can remove it, if you can remove the waistband, why not beef the heck out of this thing, make it super comfortable, and you could sit all the weight on that waistband. You still can sit, the bag is balanced in a way that you can still sit that weight on this waistband. It's just not as comfortable because it's a single strap. Love that the branding is all over the bag and it's so subtle, so classy. I think it's fantastic. Enough of the exterior, let's dive into the goods. My favorite part, the organization of the interior of this bag offers so many things. So let's start with the admin pocket. The admin pocket, by the way, at the moment, I think you can get this bag in a couple of different color combinations. I think it's 4 different color combinations where you get to pick the external color and the internal color. They didn't have the greatest, for my style, they didn't have the greatest options for color, but that's okay. I mean, I can always go with a black and be okay with that. And I love the surprise of the lime green on the inside as well. The first thing I want to talk about is that the open flap goes all the way to the bottom. So the zippers come down about halfway down the pack, and you can get quite a bit of stuff in here. So I got travel pillow, the sleeper holder. If you don't know the sleeper holder, you've got to get a sleeper holder. These things are incredible. I've got a light jacket on the top as well, just in case. That's so nice to have conveniently available for travel, airplane, car rides, jumping out of the car to take pictures, whatever. And I keep that in the front of my pocket as well. This thing goes all the way down to the bottom of the bag. Also, Tom Bihn is nice enough to send you some zipper pulls. If you want to throw zipper pulls on some of these zippers, I don't care for them. Personally, I don't want a bunch of things hanging off of the bag, but that's cool. I love that that's an option. You can take them off or put them on. By the way, I like these big pockets, but sometimes in an admin pocket, you could probably agree with me, so things can get loose and lost down in here. So I could use a little bit more organization in the bottom half of this bag. You also have a key leash here, which I think is so crucial. I use a key leash every single time. I park my car at the airport, throw my keys on the key leash, because there's nothing worse than landing late at night and wondering where the hell your keys are. And so when you get back from a long trip or whatever, it's always just like, I want that time to go as smooth as possible. I don't want any complications getting back home. But the cool thing is they've got this D-ring here, or O-ring rather. It's not a D-ring shape, it's an O-ring shape. But there's also an O-ring shape down here that you can clip it onto, and there's an O-ring down here that you can clip it onto as well. So there's 3 different places that you can fasten this. The thing I like about this top one is I could pop my keys on it, and then I can put my keys down in this back pocket that I'll be accessing less. and zip it close in there. So it's an extra security. Not only is it on a leash, but it's inside a pocket as well. Okay, now the admin section of this, I've got, obviously we got a passport pocket. I can also fit a battery charger in, phone battery charger and laptop battery charger in there as well. I've got a couple places for pens where I can keep my Apple Pen and a marker. And then I've got just a charging cord bag. So all my charging cords, all that sort of stuff, and then a notebook that I use all the time to take notes as I'm traveling. Inside the admin, we also have a back pocket. This back pocket is the full length of the entire bag. So once again, I just keep computer charger in there, a couple of things. I don't want a lot of small things in there because there's no organization in there and they can fall all the way to the back. If I have some other organizing bags or compression sacks or that kind of stuff, I could definitely use this pocket for those. The interior material is a really heavy duty ripstop material. It's, I mean, you can hear the quality in it as you touch it, as you feel it, as you move it around. It's a lot stronger than like that thin nylon that so many companies are putting on the inside of the bags at this point. So that's the admin pocket. Now let's dive next. Before we go into the main pocket, I want to show you features of the laptop pocket. The laptop pocket comes down about, let's say 3 inches from the top of the bag. Let's open that up. And let's make sure you can see it here. Great. Now, right now I've got my laptop in there and I've got my iPad Pro. Now, I wouldn't typically travel with both of these. They function essentially similar. If I've got a lot of editing to do or something, I'll take my laptop. But if it's just admin work that I'm doing, I'll take my iPad Pro. But I can fit both in here, especially everyday carry might be another scenario that I would have both of these in here. Now this divider here is nice. It's got a lot of room and it doesn't go all the way to the bottom and it is padded. And that thing I mentioned about my laptop earlier is if the laptop is the only electronic that I have, I can actually fit my laptop in that higher pocket. Now I think that's what it's more intended for. And then you have all of this room for, you can keep the charger back here. I mean, it's a good amount of room. This pocket is all the way from this seam to this seam. So what? We got a good 1.5 inches there of room other than the laptop that you can pack this full of things. And that's why I say I've got this probably about 90% packed because there's still room in there. So having just the laptop in there, I can drop it in, it's protected, and I don't have that problem that I talked about earlier. It's only I have that problem when I've got both electronics in here. All they'd have to do to remedy that is a little bit of padding on the bottom of the laptop pocket. I just think even if you accidentally threw your laptop in and missed the pocket, I just think it's smart to have that padding. That's one note that I would have for them on the design of this bag. I love the clamshell feature of the main area of this bag. Another place that I haven't utilized well is these inside mesh pockets. These things are awesome. They're roomy, it's double decker. This one at the top, which I didn't suspect at all, goes all the way down to the bottom. So once again, kind of a big gaping pocket. I actually don't know if it's that great of a feature to have a pocket that big where I can lose things. I think I would have rather them actually cut this pocket off here so that I conveniently have these things here and conveniently have these things here. This mesh is somewhat stretchy, so it's got a little bit of stretch to it, which is awesome. And it goes the entire length of the bag on both pockets. So many things that you can store in these pockets, toiletries, underwear, socks, I mean, you name it. This is a great organizing spot for you, both personally and work. And there's a lot of options that you can have there. I always keep a light sweater on the top of my bag, somewhere really easily accessible for when I get cold on airplanes. Never fail. As soon as we take off, I'm cold on the airplane, so I've got a light jacket. I've got a couple of my gravel travel compression cubes. These things are absolutely phenomenal. If you don't have any gravel travel cubes, you need them. They have this cool Velcro action that butterfly open instead of a zipper that gets caught on things or that ends up being really, really loose. So then you can both compress it and decide how big you want them to be. Oh man, it's up my packing game, and I can get my clothes nice and tight packed in. I love these cubes. So I've got a sock and underwear cube, and I've got a pant and shirt cube, 2 pairs of pants, 3 t-shirts in this cube as well. Of course, toiletry bag. Love my Cotopaxi toiletry bag full of all of the good travel things. This is a lightweight, packable day pack. Always bring a day pack, even though this can be an easy everyday carry or a day pack. If I don't want to get all of my things out all over the room, if I'm staying somewhere that I don't have my own space and I want to keep my things really tight, I always have a packable day pack. This thing is so cool. It's a Salua, I think is how you say it. Inside this pocket, you also have the straps to strap down anything that you want to strap down. Sometimes people like to take their cubes and strap those down, keep them in place. I don't personally love the internal or use the internal straps. I've just never found them to be very functional. One things I have found them to be functional is if I'm taking like a suit coat or something and I can fold it up and then put it in the back, but I would need it to stay the whole length, I can really strap those down. But otherwise, I mean, maybe tell me in the comments, how do you use your internal straps? And are they super helpful? I've just never found them to be very helpful. But Tom thought about that, old Tom Bihn. He thought about, wait, maybe these aren't helpful for everyone. So I can actually remove the internal strap, and then they're not a mess, they're not all over the place, and I can use it the way that I want to use it, which man, I think that's so thoughtful to have these features that are removable. So like I said, I feel like this is a 32 liter that packs more like a 38. There's so many possibilities in the packing of this thing. And, oh, I didn't have that this way. As you can see, as I'm packing this up, I'm still not utilizing even all the space just in this main compartment. And with the nice clamshell, I could just pull it shut, and there's absolutely no problem zipping it up. Man, I could fit so much more stuff in here. That's fantastic. Of course, with it being hand sewn and made in America, it's a higher price point. But think about this. When you think about the pack that you're gonna choose, if it really fits you and your needs, and you know it's gonna fit your needs for a long time, why not go with something that you know is going to last? Something that was built thoughtfully, something that will add some real meaning to your life. I mean, if you use this thing for 5, 6, 7 years, this thing becomes part of your life. It becomes part of you. It makes a statement to the world, but it also adds a certain level of functionality to your life. There's really not a lot of things I find more gratifying than buying something that I know I will use for a really long time, that's gonna serve me well, that was made, that was crafted by a creative, thoughtful person that poured their wisdom and experience and expertise into it, and then I get to use it to better my life. I think this Bixi bag is absolutely gonna be on my back for a very, very long time. I'm so grateful for the folks who put it together, who took their time to make something meaningful and thoughtful. There's a link in the description to get the best price possible on the Bixi from Tom Bihn. Go ahead and click that link, check them out, grab one if it seems right for you. I'll also throw in links to all of the accessories that you saw me unpacking today, just in case you're curious about them or want to grab one for yourself. So one of the things that I love to do at the end of these videos is just share a little thought, a little anecdote, something that's going on for me, something that I'm thinking about. I don't know about you, but over the holidays, particularly over Christmas break, I got really dependent on checking out. Now, we had a great Christmas break that was like really connecting and did so many fun things with the kids, watched movies, skied. You know, we had some friends over that stayed with us for a couple days that we really got to connect with, play games with, go skiing with. But I noticed, I got into a pattern of checking out. One of the ways that I know that I noticed this was drinking. That I would, and it's not a lot, not to where it's like a problem, but maybe a drink or two every night or every other night. And what I noticed was, I was enjoying the company of the people that I was with, and I was cooking, and I think there's a place for that. What I noticed is after the holidays, once everything started calming down and I started going back to the routine of things, is that I kept that routine of having a drink or two at night, maybe a little weed, but I noticed that it went from relaxing and enjoying people's company to checking out and numbing. I noticed that it was providing a relief from stress or challenge or the things that I'm facing in the new year as I dive into all of these new things that I want to do. And so I'm just paying attention to where I'm willing to check out, where I'm willing to get some sort of dopamine hit or take something that relaxes my mind rather than just being with what is there. Being with the tension of a new year starting and all the things that I want to do. And can I just be with that? And I think that the thing that's bothering me about it is I think that when I am with that, not checking out, not using things to forget about it or ease the challenge or the discomfort, is that I'm much clearer about who I am, what I'm up to, and how I'm going to make it happen. And I actually think even beyond that, that challenge forms us. Stress and difficulty and challenge shape our character. So if I'm consistently using something that dulls the tension of that challenge, am I possibly dulling the potential of some character building and some opportunity to become more of who I say I want to be? And I don't mean this to be preachy. I have no expectation for anybody else. It's just something that I'm exploring, and I would invite you to explore the same thing. Where do you check out? Where do you use dopamine, or where do you use substances, or where do you use social media, electronics? What do you use to check out, and why? And what are you missing? What's the price you're paying for checking out? Anyway, just some thoughts that I'm exploring. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for sharing your passion and your love in the comments and your feedback in the comments. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. That helps me out. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.